Boom. An opponent has been found. This is not necessarily someone we just drafted with, although it could be. So I do think the upsides of these leagues are way more than the downsides. And it is, fair enough, a little bit of a downside that you're not playing in the same pod that you drafted with. Actually, I kind of like having this showing so you guys can see any game-related stuff here like scries and whatnot. So it's a little bit of a downside in that it doesn't entirely mimic Paper Magic, but that's okay. It's not Paper Magic. I think we're okay with this. If they've got an early start, we can compulsion something if we have to. It's like we've got enough removal here. I might even prefer to be on the draw with this deck anyway. So we're kind of just looking to answer their stuff and then eventually kill them with a big thing. Or kill them of boredom. Like we can even answer a Planeswalker and not stress about it too much. Emrakul. Wow, is that somebody getting fed to like demons? Is that what's happening there? It's a bit like nightmarish. Alright, so probably setting up for Farbog Revenant. It's a question of whether or not I care about that. And Frogwalker says, not really. Not really. You can just chillax. Calm down. The Eternal Scourge. I don't think I'm super likely to want to counter anything. I can't really use removal on this card, which is a bit awkward. So I can play the Revenant and hold both back to stop this. I don't think I'm beating my opponent by attacking for one. So I think I like Revenant into pause. Now this is only instant or sorcery, right? No, it's spell. Okay. So we are going to have to get something to block and or trade with that. But any of our merge dudes are here, and we've got some 3-power dudes in the deck. It's a question now of, do I want to spend my entire turn and make them spend their entire turn, get 2 for 1, which does suck, or just kind of deal with this. I kind of like having a creature in play for the Ruthless Disposal, but I also kind of don't mind them spending their turn on this. Because they can pump this to what? 2, 4, 5. Actually, yeah. So it would be a 5/2, meaning it's not killing these without a trick. And I'm fine with the trick. Like, it does still potentially 2 for 1 us depending on the trick. But this doesn't seem like a bad deal to me at all. Okay. Again, we're not really set up in a position to do much here. Attacking doesn't do much. We can't really block that. So I think we'll go for a deny existence if they play a creature basically. And then probably a Ruthless Disposal. That still just blinks this guy. Like, I have to trade with that. So that's a little awkward. We're getting eternally scourged. I hope they cast something we care about countering. I don't care about countering it, but here I am. Bad pumpy vampires. So again, we're kind of stuck in a spot where we can't really do a whole lot about what's happening over there. But we're nowhere near the danger zone. We've got removal for other stuff, just not this stuff. I'm kind of hesitant to fire all, like let's say they resolve something here. If I can avoid just splurging off the Ruthless Disposal, I'd like to not do it. Maybe I can't, though. Like, am I supposed to imprison this in the moon and start getting in there? 4. Yeah, it's going to kill me. It is going to kill me. I don't think they've got much else going on. Alright. I'm not too proud to use premium removal on a 2-drop. Now, here's where, like, a little bit of the cross-pod pairing stuff matters. We're essentially dead to the 6/1 haste, and I don't think the 1 damage matters. They could easily have another Ember-Eye Wolf, and since it's just lethal, I'd rather not attack here. This gives us 3 turns to draw one of our fatties to block this, or just the Enlightened Maniac would be fine. Just basically something that can interact with that card in any meaningful way. Gavany Unhallowed, where have you been all my life? That's all we wanted was a 2/4. Now we've got them on a 20-turn clock. I feel comfortable attacking now because we're kind of out of solutions. Okay. Wow. They really don't like that Gavany Unhallowed. That's kind of funny. Our deck's not particularly soft to those cards. God, I can't kill this with anything. This thing is like my Eternal Scourge or something. Alright, fine. Get exiled. I don't think they're holding anything else, so I'm not going to stress about another haste monster. Well, I don't want to cast Certain Death on this, but if I don't, I kind of can't win. I'm not convinced that I can win anyway because I am being eternally scourged. Let's buy one more turn. Like, am I wrong, or do we just have like 5 or 6 creatures in the deck that can block that profitably? Hallelujah. I can't tell you how happy I am to have this. Are you ready to block Midnight Scavenger? That thing has done so much damage to me. It's absurd. Right, again, being afraid of the haste monster will probably get us killed in the long run. Like, obviously, I'd rather them not cast a 6/1 and kill me with it. But the longer I go without attacking, the longer I'm giving them to draw it. Are they really mono red? I guess they are. I'm halfway tempted to bounce my own Frogwalker to draw a card. Because I may just do it now. I feel like they're so far out of stuff, and I've got their next threat answered. This is crazy, but here we are. Yay, Sanitarium Skeleton. How you doing, buddy? He can attack. 5-turn clock now. Right. I see Ruthless Disposal will be doing something here in just a moment. So if I scour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I do not have Delirium and I'm not missing Sorcery, but if I Ruthlessly Disposal, then I can scour. Because discarding the land would leave me 4. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. So what we're going to do is this and this. It's an interesting interaction. You can target the creature you're sacrificing. You hardly ever want to, because why would you want to sacrifice your own dude? But you can. Is there any reason to scour now? I'm not going to draw a land in a 1-drop. That's a problem, because it's lethal. How ridiculous is that? There's my Distended Mindbender. How are you, buddy? So I guess what this means is we're going to 1. We should probably Mindbend first. And see what they're working with over there. It's a mountain? Okay, I can believe that. Yeah, we're going to 1-zo. I've got to try to kill them before they hit another burn spell or something. Okay, there's a nice solid answer. And I've even got the Nibblegast Herald to protect us from the scary haste monster. So it's basically they draw a burn spell this turn or they don't. I really hope they don't. The removal suite is probably as good as ours. Okay. So they do have a Make Mischief, which makes our X1s a little worse. And it looks like they are legitimately mono-red aggro, which is kind of crazy. That Eternal Scourge is nuts. Lamplighter is something I'm a little interested in this matchup because it just comes down and locks up everything and what's up. You just kind of can't deal with it. With the Smoldering Werewolf and the Make Mischief, I'm kind of tempted to just cut all of my X1s. I'll just be like, no, no, yes, yes. The Nibblegast Herald would have to go too, wouldn't it? Anything I can play over that? Not really. Unless I want a Scursdag Supplicant. I think I'm okay with them. Well, they've got 2 targets. Like, if you're going to do this, our dudes don't need to be evasive. This is going to come down to who has the cleanest board as we fire off removal at each other. I like them not having any targets for that. Playing a Vessel against a burn deck doesn't have me particularly excited. Yeah, I just need another dude. Welcome to the team, Skursdag Supplicant. Alright, we've got an early blocker, Imprisoned in the Moon, can't answer an Eternal Scourge, but that's okay. We can draw a thing that does. That's a good creature for us too. Okay. We cool? We cool? That can be sleepy paralysized, or perhaps ruthlessly disposed of. I'm going to go ahead and get the Frogwalker out. It doesn't really do anything. But it is a good ruthless disposal target, and there's a significant chance that I sleep paralysis that Thermo Alchemist. And like, he left that there to block. I would have just hit me for the point of damage if I'm on the burn plan. Okay, I guess we're not going to sleep paralysis his dude, which is fine. It's fine. Just take a little time. That was a brutal hit on that island there. But we're not blocking, so we're attacking. Because holding up Deny Existence would have been great. But that is unfortunately just not the world we are living in. Really? Alright. That's a lot of vampires. That's a lot of vampires. I still don't think I'm interested in chumping, because we've got good targets now for both the Ruthless Disposal and the Sleep Paralysis. We just have to survive long enough to cast it. Yeah, I'm not ready to block just yet, but I may be next turn. Actually, at this point, it does make sense to not block. We know that they're playing the Wolves. So why set yourself up to just die to Wolves? We still need to hit a land next turn anyway, so don't get me wrong. Like, we're not in the clear. And going to 9 is not something I like, but we have a plan. Running the classic no attacks, no blocks is part of the plan. I think we kind of need them to whiff a little bit and us to hit on a land right now. Okay, that is a land right now. And I think we're not in a position to do anything but ruthlessly dispose. So we clearly have to get rid of the 5-3 and a 3-3. Take another 5, go to 4. Sleep paralysis. This, I may have to chump here. And then we try to clean up with this guy. I may have to chomp. Alright, so these two are getting out of here. Psych you. It's going to be a long time before I have the mana to hold up for Deny Existence, so I'm just going to let that dream die. Are you chumping? I may be. I think I am. Alright, so if I play the Scavengers, getting back the Illuminator and try to trade them, then I can resolve the Crusader, then I sleep paralysis and or imprison in the moon that. Because ideally we're not trading off the Crusader, we're going to keep that. Now, downside here is they could have a Lava Axe. Actually, maybe I prefer the Frog Walker in that scenario then. Like, I just want a defensive creature. Means even if they kill my dude, I can still Frog Walk and sleep paralysis the next turn and buy us a little bit of time. Okay. That works. And we've hit land, so that's obviously got to go. Because I can't survive that. I can't survive this. Actually, I've got that answered. Yeah, just take out the two things that are likely to kill you. And then we can finish this game up. You can get paralysis. You can go to the moon. We stabilize at 6. That may get them into the let's just trade this off mode. Okay. I think I'm actually okay with this because again we can Frog Walk the Messenger and resolve the Crusader and lean pretty heavily on that to finish this game. But lean on that to finish this game. Now they knew about that. But here's our coup de grace. So let's hope they don't have 2 burn spells for it or something. I feel like once I can connect with it once, we're kind of in business. Okay, so they're interested in trading those, which is interesting. I've got another lifelinker, which is also pretty interesting. I think we make that trade, go to 9, eat their wolf. And then I've already got 2 blockers for the other guy. I still can't attack with the Frog Walker though, because if they eat that and swing back, we're in a little bit of trouble. That's not a great trade for us, but the life gain is relevant. Ah, well, now we don't get the life gain. We did get a card out of their hand that matters. I suspected there might have been an Uncaged Fury in there. This is where we'd like to draw a big thing. Hey, that's big enough. Big enough to stop that. We still can't attack through the wolf, obviously. We do give them a blocker for our Skulk dude by casting Spontaneous Mutation, so it's kind of the Nombo combo, but we have a plan. Alright, new plan. We're going to have to spontaneously mutate that. Borrowed Malevolence, you say. So they can pump that to a 3-2. I still don't think I have attacks. But again, we've got an answer for that. We can kind of handle this. Does that give me an attack? Because I could make my guy basically +2/+2, right? So 5 toughness. I mean, I can do it, but what happens if they don't block? They swing back, we have to double block this, take 2, mutate that. That's actually not bad. It's actually not too bad. Because they can make this a 3/4 currently. Yeah, I'm alright with that. It gives me a chance to get rid of the wolf. And I think being at 5 and 4 is pretty much the same. Being at 6 or 4 is not a colossal difference here. Okay, I'm fine with that. You gotta go first, buddy. So that gets a threat out of the way. Gains us some life. Kind of encourages them to swing with both, but I mean, we're 100% mutating the assembled alphas. Okay, that's not great, but it's better than bad, because they're now out of cards and we've got everything on the board handled, and then can draw something big to get out of this. And they're a little bit incentivized to attack with both here, which is good because we get to basically trade a sanitarium skeleton, which we can get back. I cannot cast this fast enough. Answered! We're going to have to kill him with a flyer, which is awkward because I don't think we have any left. So I'm not quite sure how we're winning. Yeah, because just that blocking us is going to kill us, isn't it? I guess we're going to have to draw more removal spells, so I should really focus on playing quickly. Can't attack in there. Those alphas are a problem, man. Because they can currently just block us to death. So focused on stabilizing, I didn't realize I still don't have a way to beat the card. It just makes me not die this turn. I think we have a flyer left. One of the downsides of the leagues is you can't go look at your deck between rounds, which is probably good. Like, for all people say that this is not like paper magic, that's actually something that makes it more like paper magic. We've got another Revenant, but they can still block it to death. This is kind of miserable. They do have double alchemists. The devils are almost lethal. Blocks or becomes blocked. Yep, so it's still just a machine gun sitting there waiting to do terrible things to us. I realize he can kill the Fogwalker here. I'm kind of hoping he does. Because, like, it's not super relevant, and the point of life to me is... Supplicant is nice. The problem is I'm at 2. And that's going to kill me. I don't think them knowing that I sided in a Skursdag Supplicant is a huge deal, but... Alright, that's us dying. So, how are we planning to win that game? I don't think we were at that point. So I've kind of got to save these for the big stuff. Maybe we just don't have enough kill conditions without the flyers, and I just need to suck it up and say, you know what, it sucks, but we're going to be vulnerable to your X1 hate. I could also run a convolute. This guy's just terrible. I want these two in the deck still. Maybe over the lamplighter. Like, everything's going to trade with their stuff anyway. So why not just kind of deal with it? Yeah, we're going to be weak. I should probably bring the rats in too. I just hate the idea of them playing the Smoldering Werewolf and picking off two of our cards. Because, like, you saw that we sideboarded against it, and those cards were still pretty good. And we are going on the play, so having the Air Force probably matters. I don't know that we can win without it. Alright, let's give this a shot. I think we need the Flyers. I would like to play first. And this looks reasonable. This looks reasonable. Best hand ever? Probably not. But reasonable. Reasonable. I'm really thinking about this one. Looks like they decided to keep. Not sure if that was them thinking about a weak keep or if they just wanted to go make a sandwich. I always assume people make lots of sandwiches, because sandwiches are yummy. Okay. That was an interesting strategy to slow dredge that our opponent has elected to take. Not really sure what that was about, but we'll take it. It's not like we can super pressure them with what's going on here, but it works. Go, go, zombies, go. Maybe they're secretly setting up for Delirium, or maybe just F6 through their turn by accident. That can happen on Magic Online. Let's get handy. I think given the nature of my hand, I'd rather just bounce that and get in. I have an interest in drawing cards as we've already got plenty of lands. And like, if their plan is just to replay that, we're pretty happy about it. I think that's worth certain deathing. Like, I normally don't want to spew my removal off that quickly. Like, I can basically, again, give this guy +2/+2 with the Borrowed Malevolence if I'd rather save it. Because I may need the certain death, so that would make this guy basically an ineffective 4/6. They do have an Uncaged Fury. It's like I don't really want to do it offensively, and we don't have enough pressure that I can just go removal spell, removal spell, removal spell, and win. Like, if they get to the assembled alphas, we're going to lose. This would get me in, let's see, 5 here, putting them to 10. But I don't think I have enough pressure to back it up without some good draws. We have some good draws. Maybe I'll, you know what, I'm okay committing to this. Because they would need 2 turns to draw the alpha anyway. They've already discarded a land. There's a chance they block and let me just get a blowout here. I can even take the 5 for a turn if I want to. But I don't. Got the same scenario as before. The problem is that can hit us for a lot of damage. I suppose the good news is that a Borrowed Malevolence can really put the brakes on that. But I'm again going to force the 3. If they want to push damage with that, I think we're okay. The only problem I foresee is potentially assembled alphas. Which again is why I was a little nervous about blowing that certain death. Like, let's say they go for pump this all the way, hit me for 7. Sweet. We do have to be a little careful of a large uncaged fury. This basically puts them dead next turn. I want to save that. I probably do. Leaves me a little bit out of gas here. But it also leaves them not really able to attack. Unless they've got something amazing. I think that's fine for us. Yeah, once they stop attacking, I think we're in just a very happy place. I don't really understand not equipping that. Presumably they've got something to kill one of these dudes, which is kind of fantastic since we just drew the scavengers. Get scavenged. Huzzah! I want to get my name on this undefeated list. It seems so exciting to be on there. Anyway, that's it. There's no waiting between rounds for anything else to finish. We just go right into the next one. So I will see you for round 2 right now.